Video games are fun and all, but my lord, it's an expensive hobby. With everything you need to actually play a video game, it's crazy how so many people are gamers when you think about it. We could use that money to help the homeless, help our families, or aid world hunger. Well, speaking of hunger, you're gonna go hungry if you keep buying video games. I mean, look at me. After buying the entire King Kong the Game collection, I am barely making it. I tried to sell my copies of King Kong on the street, but nobody really understands fine art, so I had to settle with selling all my consoles and games. The only thing I have left is my Xbox 360. But with no games, I'm sorry, Chief. Looks like I ain't playing Halo anytime soon. Wait, Chief? Xbox? Commercialism? That's it! I'll beg the gods of gaming, Mountain Dew and Doritos for some games! But the problem is, right, we have Mountain Dew in the UK, not Mutton Dew. But we do have Doritos. O Lord that is in heaven, glory be to thy gamer, and to thy gamer girl, and to the holy Doritos. I ask upon thee for content for my channel. Please bestow upon me thine video games, as thy wishes to make nostalgia-based content, and to reflect on gaming's past. Amen. Oh shit, Doritos published some games! Xbox Live Arcade was a beautiful thing. A piece of gaming history I will be covering on this channel, be sure to subscribe so you can see it. However, before that, I wanted to discuss this little chip of gaming history. But to quickly summarize, Xbox Live was a pretty damn big deal, with many publishers and developers seeing a new market to create and publish games they couldn't publish previously, or as a chance to re-release stuff. There were lower dev costs and an overall lower risk for developers, while gamers can get cheaper games and actually try every game before they buy, something we have lost in the digital age of gaming. You ever notice that? Demos are like never a thing anymore, and it's seen as a massive deal when companies like Capcom actually release demos for their big games. Anyways, Doritos saw the potential of Xbox Live Arcade early on, as in 2007 they hosted an event called Unlock Xbox, where budding game developers would submit a 500-word proposal for a game, 5 finalists would be picked, and then they are given 8 weeks to create a beta of the game. These betas are then released online for the public to pick from, and the winner was given the chance to release a game on XBLA. The event would change a bit over time, and there is a shocking lack of information about this event online, but from the Unlock Xbox events, we got 3 games, all released for free on Xbox Live Arcade. We have Doritos Crash Course, which would then get a separate sequel from the Unlock Xbox event, Harm's Way, and Dash of Destruction. Well, we got a few games to go through, so we may as well go in chronological order, just to give this some structure. Developed by Ninja Bee and released on December 17th, 2008, Dash of Destruction, or DOD as I'll call it, is a game where you either play as the dinosaur running around eating Doritos trucks, or as a Doritos truck picking up Doritos while avoiding dinosaurs. It's super basic, not that fun, and mainly discussed nowadays for the easy gamer score it was. Even the loading screens, where the dev himself is in, talks about the easy gamer score. It controls with the left stick and controlling the car feels alright. Meanwhile, the T-Rex is a bit rough. Sometimes he'll snap to where you want, meanwhile sometimes he'll take longer than I do to tell her my feelings before she closes the door on me. Repetitive music, extremely basic graphics, probably had to be done to save memory size considering its limits, and bland gameplay make it a game I have very little to say about. If you want to play it for the gamer score though, you won't be playing for long. A playthrough takes around 15 minutes, so yeah, get that 200 gamer score, homie. Well, 190 out of 200, as you need to play online to get the last achievement, and yeah, good luck with that in 2021. Look, I lost the weight, okay? I can have this. You better watch yourself here by mouthing off to me. You're putting yourself in harm's way. It's the worst thing I've ever written. Developed by a name I can't say without getting age restricted, but I can recreate in Photoshop, Harm's Way was released on December 8th, 2010, and is a hybrid of a racing game and a shooting game. You can pick from one of 3 tracks, or do them all in one go, and from one of 4 car types, and race to see who can win. You know, like a race. I don't know why I told you how a race works. Or you can play as a gunman, shooting vehicles, hazards around one of the 3 levels, or just not shoot anything and mess about. It's a free country, do what you want. You bought this 360 with your own pocket money. Being a gunman is pretty dang fun. You get a good variety of guns, although I mainly stuck to the sniper. Yeah, I live dangerously. Sometimes I don't knock before going into my own house. and you have to shoot from one of a few spots on each course, meaning you have to keep an eye on the map right here to see where cars are to be either ready to jump one for a stationary drive-by, or you could just be a griefer and follow that one poor soul around and let the others just race. Being a gunner ain't half bad. As a racer, each car controls uniquely, with my favourite being the buggy. But overall, it didn't control amazingly. I've played better racing games in my time, but it did get the job done. There are multiple paths to be taken, with the risk being rather high for a quite low reward in my eyes. I would wipe out quite often quite badly. Luckily, cars are dying left, right and centre in this game, keeping the thrill of the race going and allowing you to catch up if need be. Speaking of thrills, there are power-ups here, such as a repair if a gunman shoots a tyre off, shields such as my homie Plus Don't Shoot Me is modelling, and weapon upgrades for your fellow gunner and downgrades for your enemy gunners.
Wait, you help the enemy?
No, my dear on-camera me, you f***ing idiot.
Hey!
The single player of Harm's Way feels like a tutorial more than anything else. Bots are dumb here and it gets boring fast. Meanwhile, the real meat and potatoes comes with the multiplayer. With a full lobby, you get 4 teams of 2, a driver and a gunner. Here is where the action gets dialed up. You have cars constantly blowing up, debris falling from the heavens, and shortcuts being shot to aid your teammates. I remember it being proper fun back when. Sadly, I couldn't get into a game when I was recording. There is a 4-player split screen mode, but I'm sadly... But from watching gameplay, I got to see the fun that Harm's Way has to offer. I mean, sure, there are very few tracks and cars to pick from, but there is a good night of fun to be had here with friends. So if you're looking for something a little different to play on Sunday afternoons after church, give Harm's Way a download. Sure, it's again an easy 200 gamer score, and playing with AI is like watching this movie after 5 minutes of gameplay, but Harm's Way, it's worth a download.
Happy days, 1 out of 2 worth downloading so far. Well, that one does have an asterisk next to it, but I'm going to spoil the next section here a little bit. Doritos Crash Course is so worth downloading.
Released the same day as Harm's Way and developed by Wanko Games, Doritos Crash Course pits you and your avatar through a set of obstacle courses in a very Total Wipeout / Takeshi's Castle kind of way, in a variety of places such as the USA, Europe and Japan, with later DLC adding Las Vegas, which is in the USA, Japan Easy, which is an easy mode of the Japan maps, and London, which...
well, it's in Europe at the time of this recording.
When we look back at early XBLA games, what made them great? Games like Assault Heroes, Feeding Frenzy, Peggle. They are all so simple, but the gameplay loop is fun. And the gameplay loop of Doritos Crash Course is dang fun. Let me demonstrate. Shit, 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 shit. Nearly. Yes! Shit. Put simply, Crash Course is a platformer with rock-solid controls and great level design that makes it so fun to revisit time and time again and beat your score. Its natural difficulty curve from level to level allows you to constantly get better as you play, culminating in the Japan levels, which gave me a great challenge when capturing footage for this segment. With Harm's Way and Dash of Destruction, I got my footage and got out ASAP, but here I ended up playing for 2+ hours, playing the entire game again. However, the main recording session I did was right after recording the PSVR, and I forgot to turn off the crop, so whoops. Controls are simple, with you being able to jog by moving the stick and being able to sprint by holding the right trigger at the same time. However, sprint for too long and you'll faceplant. Jumping felt great, with myself being able to brake in the air by holding backwards, and finally, you're able to slide under obstacles. This may seem situational and pointless until you find out that you can slide on a declined slope, no matter how big or small, to perform a slide jump, giving you speed and height a normal jump just simply can't. This allows you to reach platforms slightly off the beaten path, and mastering all of these little shortcuts felt so rewarding as a player. Level design here is fantastic, with creative uses of fans and trampolines and a good variety of obstacles looking to take you out, like hammers and paintball guns. I was constantly leaning forward while playing, making sure I was landing the jumps and leaps of faith effectively, or ensuring that I stayed within a fan's wind while avoiding obstacles in my path. And once you think you've beaten all the easy levels and faced everything you're gonna face, the devs start to combine items. Like for example, at the start you just deal with these hammers that crush you. Then later on, you have to deal with them while also running on moving platforms that are trying to slow you down. Or instead of a basic moving platform section, you now have to deal with those sections again, but with treadmill-like platforms trying to force you off. But oh looky here, there are small slopes for you to do a slide jump with if you think you can time it right. Sure, it starts easy, with myself grinding the early levels to get gold medals for fast times and mastering those levels, but the final Japan section is no joke. It provided a good platforming challenge that made me have to restart multiple times or even skip ahead using the chicken option. to plan ahead for my next run. With the chicken skip feature, you don't get a time, and thus can't get a medal to unlock the next level, or place on the leaderboard. But it's a valuable tool to plan ahead, as I said, ensuring that you know what's ahead so that even if you make some mistakes during a race, you know you'll be able to beat the level and get a medal on your next try. I really hope you can tell from my voice here, I love this game. It rocks so much, and replaying it showed me how great it still is. It does have multiplayer where your enemies are cardboard cutouts, which used to make me laugh, however it was as dead as my social life when I captured footage. But once you're done with harm's way, please download this game. It is so good, it has such rewarding and fun gameplay, you will get some gamer score here, but you'll feel like you actually earned it, and this game even allows for split screen play. No worries if you're flying solo today though, Crash Course is an amazing flash of fun, and you won't regret downloading it.
With 1.4 million downloads by the end of 2010, so a month, it's clear that people wanted more, myself included, and we got just that. Doritos Crash Course 2, released May 8th, 2013. I am so happy I went back and played Doritos Crash Course 1, so you can imagine my excitement for the sequel. I guess the gods aren't as powerful as I thought.
Delisted after 17 months on XBLA, Crash Course 2 is now unplayable, even if you're like me and still have it on your hard drive. There's no concrete reason out there why it's gone, and what makes it strange is that Crash Course 1 is still available. Heck, it's even playable on the Xbox One and Series X and S via backwards compatibility. The common speculation is that the game was just not profitable. It had these coin packs in it which you could use to unlock levels or other doodads, premium currency, or you could just play the game, collect stars and unlock levels that way. That's what I did, and I'm assuming many others did too, as when it was time to cough up and you hit that inevitable free-to-play wall, many didn't cough up the dough. I guess the other items in the store just didn't interest people. For reference, here's what buying one level cost with premium coins, and here's how much the coins cost. I'll let you be the judge. It's a shame, as from watching gameplay and from memory, it was a great improvement. Little things like grabbing onto a ledge instead of falling like dead weight was such a useful addition. Online play was improved by having your opponents actually be on the course with you instead of cardboard cutouts in the first game, and the biggest change of all for me, you can now jump over the hammers instead of hitting an invisible wall. Visually it's more diverse, and level design was improved with even more paths for you to take, including unlockable paths which I think you had to pay for. I really think this should have been a paid sequel instead of a microtransactions filled free-to-play game, because Crash Course 1 was a well-loved game and I believe it earned the privilege of having a price tag for the sequel. But what are you gonna do?
It is a shame that Crash Course 2 is gone, as I remember it being just a better version of Crash Course 1. I remember the controls were so much better than Crash Course 1, but sadly I can't judge that now. Out of curiosity, whatever happened to all those guys and gals who created these Doritos games?
Ninja B made other work such as the Kefling series, and they're still going, with their latest release being a handful of Keflings on PC VR platforms. These fellas and lasses helped war gaming with World of Tanks and their Frontline mode, and most recently they founded Black Shark AI. In 2020, Black Shark AI was mentioned as the company that generated the world's surface for Microsoft Flight Simulator using Bing images. That's kinda cool. Wanko or Wanko Games was later renamed to Behavior Santiago before closing their doors in 2017. Finally, Behavior Interactive is best known for helping Bethesda with Fallout Shelter, and also best known for being sued by Bethesda for using the Fallout Shelter code to make a Westworld game.
I am grateful I was able to play most of these Doritos games thanks to my gaming lord and savior right here, but I do regret selling my games and games consoles. I mean, how the hell else am I going to play and beat Naruto Storm 4 for the 5th time now, you know?
Praise to the gamer, and to the gamer girl, and to the holy Doritos. I ask upon thee.
Give me my shit back!
Turns out I sold all my consoles due to a mushroom trip. I then prayed to a bag of Doritos, made this video, and well, now I'm 7 months clean. I do have a massive hentai addiction now though. Well, 190 out of 200, as you need to play online to get the last achievement, and yeah, good luck with that in 2021.
Hold on. Couldn't I just set up a multiplayer match on my own and then just get the achievement that way? Ah shit, it's not backwards compatible.
Hello, old friend. Wait, I only have one Xbox 360 controller on me. Screw this, I'm just gonna Google it. Well, seems like you can do it in 2021. Well.